Millions flocked to their pension funds to make withdrawals from their savings portions, in the process also generating revenue for the fiscus. In the 2024 budget, the National Treasury said it expected tax revenue to grow over the next 3 years, reaching 2.13 trillion and a tax-to-GDP ratio of 25.3% in the 2026-2027 financial year. It announced the implementation of the two-pot retirement system and a minimum corporate tax rate.
What we'd like to hear and what we'd like to see is the impact of the two-pot retirement system and the contributions to the tax net. I know there were a lot of articles and media statements by the Commissioner stating that they've collected, as at December, if I'm not mistaken, about 4.1 billion in taxes. It would be great to see how the composition of that taxes collected is made up, and whether or not it was actually from withdrawals itself, or whether it was collecting an outstanding debt, or there was also a statement on enhancing the administration and the compliance elements around the two-part retirement and the withdrawals, and identifying taxpayers for audit, to get a lower margin, tax rate margin. So those things are probably going to be on the agenda in terms of enhancing the compliance rates with taxpayers.
South Africa has also implemented the Global Minimum Tax Act in a move to curb tax avoidance by multinational companies.
The idea is to make sure that all countries pay their fair share of tax, and that is going to be determined with reference to what is, there's a specific formula contained in the Act and everything, but that's going to be determined by having regard to what the effective tax rate is. So even, so the corporate legislated tax rate at the moment is 27%, but then you have to take into account what is all the incentives available, the deductions available, etc. So I think South Africa's tax rate, corporate tax rate, is already at the higher end compared to other countries in the world, and I think this act is more focused towards those, offshore entities that were established specifically to actually create artificially an entity where you can pay less tax. So it's targeting groups that have been abusing the tax frameworks of countries that have a more favorable tax rate compared to South Africa.
Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana is expected to present the national budget on the 19th of February. Gloria Sefakomosi, SABC News, Johannesburg.